It is, as you can start to tell, lots of partners that make any of these projects work. Key among it is, of course, Metro, the entity that is in fact charged with planning the overall regional transportation system, how transit and other things fit in. Please welcome President David Bragdon.
Yeah.
I also want to mention my colleague, Councilor Carl Hostica, is here today as well, representing this area. He goes to Eugene one day a week, and I have to teach a class, and I have a suspicion he'd rather be sitting on this train than behind the wheel of his Subaru stocking to go. So I think Fred is nothing if not strategic, and it was very intentional probably that he slotted me in here to speak right after our representative of the federal administration, because one of the things Metro does is organize this whole region to go back to Washington and to make our presentation to the federal administration and say, it's not just about Wilsonville, not just about Beaverton, it's about our whole region, and we have a unified agenda on that. So in the spirit of dealing with our federal friends here, I just want to say I appreciate the chance to follow a speaker from the Obama administration. We know that the Obama administration is very committed to expanding the rail network, not just locally, but also throughout the country. And we look forward to working with the Obama administration, as well as any opportunity that you want to give me to say the words Obama administration. Now, once upon a time in our country, it was the railroads that literally and figuratively put towns on the map. And the towns that got the railroads prospered and thrived, and those that didn't quite make the grade often. Well, in the 21st century, it's going to be similar to that. And really, that's again what this effort is about. Really, this is not so much about the train, it's not so much about the tracks, it's about the communities that are created around those trains and tracks. It's about the places that we get to go. Next month, we will celebrate the 200th anniversary of the birth of Abraham Lincoln, who signed the Pacific Railroad Act. He is also the person who said, henceforth, railroad tracks in the United States of America can be 4 feet, 8.5 inches wide. And that's still true in the 21st century. And what's really true about it all is that it knits it all together. It makes our communities stronger. It makes things flow together very well. So we're really proud to be part of this. Thank you.
Thanks, David. Here's a line that goes through 4 cities. There obviously are 4 mayors and really 4 opportunities to be able to make this region better. And as David Bragdon said, the idea of building communities, about the knitting together of our region is absolutely key. We've already heard from one of those mayors in the welcome, Craig Dirksen, from here in Tigard. But we'd also like to be able to have mayors Lou Ogden, Beaverton Mayor Denny Doyle, and Wilsonville Mayor Tim Knapp.
Thank you. I just take a moment and first of all just echo all of the thanks that have already been made. I mean, tremendous effort. And I want to reminisce just for a moment. I'm probably, maybe the only person here who's in the same capacity as when this project came about. And the quick story on that is that it was actually, the idea was brought to me, it was someone who said this was in the ODOT rail planning back in the 80s, and Bill Burgle, who was a railroad guy, brought this idea to me and said this is maybe something we can advance. And I want to make a couple points. One is, it's good government. It's just common sense to take a rail line that already exists and make it function to provide an additional service. Not having to build, not having to acquire right away, it just made good sense. But the interesting thing about it is it was really launched by the local governments, by the mayors. The mayor of Sherwood, Walt Hitchcock, the mayor of Beaverton, Jim Nicolai, the mayor of Tigard, Jim Nicolai, the mayor of Beaverton, Rob Drake, who doesn't have a tie on today.
Oh.
And I do. There's your turnaround events. And Washington County Chair Linda Peters and Mike Burton, the executive at Metro at the time, we all kicked in $5,000 each with initial study. And the interesting thing about that is and that was 1993, I think. I have a photograph here of House Revenue Chair Tom Lyon and myself right on this hill and the date in the lower right-hand corner is January 1994, 15 years to the minute. And you say, Bill Burgle, the railroad guy, I said, how long would it take for this to come together? He said, well, you build your platforms, you already got the rails, and you buy the trains. Private sector could do it in 6 months, government might take a year, maybe 2. I got excited. You do something in the short term. In a totalitarian government, you could have done that in 6 months or a year. In a democratic government, we need to engage all the partners, and that's what everyone has been talking about and thanking. And it takes 15 years or more. Given the choice, which do you prefer? Obviously, America is the greatest land, and that process allows everyone to weigh in. And how we knit together precious dollars isn't just a couple mayors trying to get something done. As a matter of fact, it really demonstrates that none of us mayors could have done anything were it not for these folks behind us and all the work that's been done. So I just want to thank that whole effort from the top all the way down to the bottom. And enjoy. And one other thing I just want to say, in government, we're always doing things behind the curve. We're building schools after they're crowded. We're trying to build roads after they're congested. And this is ahead of the curve. This is the future, and it'll take us a long time to get here, but this will launch the next phase of transportation in this region.
Yeah, it's fun to follow shy and retiring mayors. But I just want to thank you for inviting me to this, just a great celebration of something that took a long time, but it was worth every hour, every minute, and everybody's effort. And before I go further, I'd like to introduce 3 of our city councilors here. You've already heard Kathy Stanton is here. Councilor Betty Bodie is here. Yay! And back there in the back is our newest Mark Sansucci. Thank you. Train ride from Beaverton was really enjoyable. It was 8 or 9 minutes, 10, and it was fun waving the 217 the entire way. That was quite enjoyable, and I really had a kick. I don't know if you had a chance to see, but the cake over here is from our own Beaverton Bakery. And it looks terrific, and I was sad to see, I think they already cut some of it up, but it was quite an piece of artwork. Speaking of the bakery and all the other businesses along this rail line, their employees can now ride the train to work. Think about that. There's a whole bunch of folks that won't be on 217, and I think that's terrific. And I hope, of course, you'll visit the bakery and all the businesses downtown Beaverton when you get to the transit center. Good public transportation is crucial to connecting our communities. I can't wait to ride to Salem, by the way, and attracting businesses to our area and boosting our regional economy. And so today we've just added another small piece to our regional capabilities, and it sells well across America. And we'll spare you this, but we've all heard comments about what a leader our area is. We should be proud of that, and we should never forget that. And I know that we had a little celebration about a week or so ago, and the reporter talked about he attended and watched Wes love it. And I've got to tell you, that was a really good thing, because we have to fall in love with rail again. Things are going to change, and this is how we're going to make it happen. So I just can't thank enough people. You've heard it, and you can't do it often enough, but Congressman Rube, you were just a hero in this process. And the federal government was right there with us, our regional partners. We should all be proud. So thank you, and I'll see you at Beaverton.
Greetings all from Wilsonville. We are excited to be the southern anchor for this dynamic, precedent-setting project. Wilsonville looks forward participating in a partnership with TriMet, Metro, and all our West Side communities in taking this leap of faith, in this belief that we together can forge a better future. We seek to bring to bear the synergies of planning, vision, commitment, and persistence, to work together in concert, to build, to define a thoughtful path toward a better way of living and working together, of finding the path of carefully considered choice, not the path of least resistance.